The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
What's up, Octo Nation? How did today go for you? All right, kind of good. WorkHorse was flying up a little bit. I was trying to figure out why. Okay, I found out some information. I also found out some not so good stuff in the background that happened as the good stuff was happening. So let's dive on in. So some SEC filings came out. The SEC, United States Secretaries Exchange Commission's Statement of Change of Beneficial Ownership. So there's 4 big dogs who sold off some shares today. Can you blame them? So a lot of times people see insiders and the big boys selling off stuff as a bad thing. You know, if they sold their whole position and they're getting out of the company or something like that, maybe, but I never see it as a bad thing personally at all. But however, if they're buying more, I always see it as a good thing. But I realize that when people pull out some shares, a lot of times they just need some money. Okay? These guys have invested millions of dollars into this thing. And at some point, they need to pay their bills. You know, the kids might want to go to college, or they might need to pay some taxes or something. I mean, this is life, right? So we had some pretty big sell-offs. First of all, Joseph Raymond Chess sold off 149,000 shares, which is quite a bit, right? You know, the problem with this is that a lot of people will take this negatively if they find out about it. Or maybe they'll see the video and they might be with me and be like, who really cares at this point, right? I don't know. That's a lot, but you know, a lot's been disposed of. So non-derivatives securities acquired, disposed of, or beneficially owned. Okay, you got the D here for disposed of. A would be acquired. We got the D. Got that a little bit wrong. So he's actually only disposed of 4,000, but he still has 149,243 remaining. So if you see anyone freaking out like there's insider ownership that's selling, everyone get ready, it's going to go down. He's only sold like 4,000. 4,000 shares is a lot to most folks, but not when you got 149,000. So maybe he just needed some groceries. Okay. Maybe he needed to buy a new Honda for his kid that's getting ready to go to school. They had another one. How much did they sell? They sold 50,000 shares. And this was Mr. Stephen M. Fleming, about 10% owner of the place. But he still got 530,171 shares. So he just took a little profit off the top. Still not too big of a deal if you ask me. We've got another guy here, Mr. Gregory Ackerson. Still about 10% in it. He sold off 10,869. But he still got 114,037. We're good, right? They're not like liquidating 100% of their shares and something weird happened, right? Here's another person, Mr. Anthony Daly Fury, sold 50,000 shares, but he still got 298,324. It's good. So if you hear any things going around where people are like, oh my gosh, dude, everyone's selling everything, what are we gonna do? Freak out? Don't freak out, man. Just tell them, sell a little bit more, I'm gonna keep buying. Not recommending that, but you know, it is what it is. Then I looked up, how's this thing doing in the news? It's kind of getting hit everywhere in a good way. All right, there's articles coming out left and right all over the place. Here's one on Investor Place. WorkHorse Group's last mile solution may be the only one. Delivery drones have a critical problem, necessitating another look at WorkHorse stock. While electric vehicles have dominated the markets this year, it's not just the end of products that appeal to investors. Rather, we're seeing a tangible shift toward clean energy adoption. Therefore, companies like WorkHorse Group have enjoyed tremendous demand. WorkHorse, however, is having their stock more than speculative, but a bet in the EV space. Rather, it has 2 key elements and should distinguish it from the competition. What are they? As our own Todd Schreiber recently noted, underlining the momentum for WorkHorse stock are smart business strategies. First, WorkHorse carved out an important niche within the broader EV market, electric delivery trucks. In that way, WorkHorse avoids direct competition with Tesla. Indeed, anytime you can sidestep an organization that owns 80% of the market is a good maneuver. Second, WorkHorse has focused not only on viable niche, but actually delivering products. Fisker, In this manner, WorkHorse doesn't just attract investors from a scientific narrative, or maybe Nikola. Rather, the underlying company has proven the concept. Major blue chips such as United States Postal Service, UPS. I'm getting excited. The UPS, United Parcel Service, and FedEx, FDX are buying in. They've already bought some. USPS hasn't officially done it yet. To the effect, WorkHorse leverages advanced green energy technology to address logistics industry last mile program. We know all that. It goes on. I'll leave this always down in the description, which hits my site. Go to my site. I'm going to have this in there for you if you want to read it and read the rest of it. Regardless, it's telling us what most of us already know about WorkHorse. They're rocking and rolling. I also watched and listened to the whole Trump speech today, some of the Powell thing today, and then some of the vice president guys thing at the Fairgrounds of Ohio today. Okay. In fact, I recorded them hoping that there would be something super awesome that popped or something like that. The vice president, he did bring up jobs tons of times. He didn't say anything directly through this, but he did bring up the Lordstown thing, name dropped it a couple times. I didn't get a feeling he was kind of trying to hint at anything. He didn't say anything about United States Postal Service or nothing. So did I miss anything? Did you guys watch or listen to any of those? And did I miss something? I might have missed something because I was zoning out a couple times because you can only listen to that stuff for so long before my ADD starts freaking out. Okay. Cramer, y'all know who this guy is? He might not have a show anymore, but Jim Cramer, he just came out yesterday and brought them up and said, WorkHorse Group, it has what I call the thesis of grand thesis. It's got electronic vehicles, it's got drones, that's what people want. But you know what I want? I want some earnings, and it doesn't have those. And I want some valuation, and it's up 733%. Therefore, I conclude I am not early with the stock of WorkHorse. This guy, to me, not just the tonality of my voice, I wasn't totally trying to match him, but just how he talks and his verbiage and stuff, his theses on how he looks at companies and all that, reminds me of like a 17-year-old that's in debate. It's just like an A and B evaluation. He still doesn't look at the whole picture. Like, look at companies like Tesla, I don't know, or many of the other companies out there that are gonna keep going. It doesn't matter if it's gone up 733%. If the people want it and it's gonna be coming out and keep going, it's gonna keep going up with the stock. It is what it is. People don't realize, especially people like him, the cool factor, man. People still want to feel cool. People are still going to be following others. Most people are sheep, and most people want to still jump on bandwagons. I'm not calling you a sheep if you're on the WorkHorse, but I'm just saying, you got to look at the big picture here. You can't just say, I want valuation, and base your investing thesis on that anymore. If you would, you're probably not making any money right now. And if you are, you might get like 1 or 2% every 4 months or something. Forget that. We're here to multiply, right? Am I wrong? I don't know. That just thesis it, and how it's worded just absolutely cracked me up. What do you guys think? Do you think he'll have a show next month? I think he still will. Let's go ahead and look at the ticker. What's going on? So I think this did have a run up because of Pence. I think his name, yeah. Mike Pence, I believe is his name, vice president, was having the speech. I think that there was a run up from it, and it went up to $28, and it actually tagged it again. But then it ended up post and ending the day down at 26.88, down from 28. But what does that mean? Is that all-time highs? Did we get all-time highs again? I think so. Check it out. Let's go 5-year. Yeah, look at that. Massive all-time highs. Can't deny it. This stock is rocking and rolling, dudes and dudettes. Look, it broke all these other channels. Did anyone else get on these calls with me when we called these out down here at the bottom of this channel? For the $22, and I guess there's maybe one at 24 or something. Anyone get on these calls? September 11th, October 16th. It's definitely above them now. What do you guys think? Do you see this $30 at the end of the year? Or, I mean, when the contract gets announced, Is it gonna double from here? I think it definitely could. I mean, $6 billion contract, even if they get a quarter of it, it's still $1 billion, over $1 billion. I don't know. We'll have to just keep waiting and seeing. Do you think Ford's going to get any of it? I think Ford still might get a little pity play on it, but I still think they'll probably get majority. They were also talking, I don't remember where I read this, but they were looking to add something like an extra, maybe like 100, they're going to do like 100 trucks a month or something. Is WorkHorse coming out and saying now? Like they're getting ramped up by next year to hit 100 or 200 trucks a month, which is crazy. So they're still ramping up, which is fantastic. I know you guys want to know, so you want to know, should I buy in? That's what you're going to ask me. I don't know. I don't know. If you honestly believe that they are going to get the USPS contract, I'd say right now is definitely the right time to buy. If you're not 100% convinced, then maybe not. But even with the first statement, if you don't have the money to buy in here to risk, don't risk it. Only you know your own risk and what you can afford to play on this. And you've got to start putting even a percent on your scale of believability that a stock is going to go up, or your percent of believability that they are going to get that contract. That's something only you can decide. Even if you got to write it down and make a pie graph out of it, do it. All right, you got to figure that out. Look at your full investment portfolio, what you have that you can risk. Right now, no matter what, any investment in this exact market is risky. Can you make some money? Heck yeah, we do it all the time here. But technically looking, it's at all-time highs. It's technically in a bull pattern right now. I mean, it's straight bull. It came down a little bit. I mean, what are you going to call this? A bear flag? Sure, we could wrap a burrito around it and call it a bear flag, but I think it's just in a sky movement. People are jacked for this, and you've got all sorts of ages jacked for this also. You can see what the people that fought the Republican side of stocks. Okay, you got to pay attention to this, even if you don't want to. Just look at the Lordstown truck. That EV truck that's coming out. That actually blew my mind that thing is doing so well and is continuing to do so well. Why? I think a lot of it is because of Pence. Okay? Because Pence came out and he was at the opening, was amping it up and all that. So you're getting all the Republican money in there. Okay? The old builder guy, blue chippy guys who worked for Ford GM their whole life. You're getting all those people in there pushing this up, and now they're attributing this to that also. So you can't deny that. You've got to look at that big picture and be aware of it though also. But just be careful again, because it is at all-time highs. This is technically a sketchy place to be. It could keep going, but of course, I should tell you to wait for a pullback. Okay, wait for a pullback, but then you might not ever get in. It's just up to you. You can either play it like I like to do, where I will throw in a buy above it. Also, you could play that play where don't jump in tomorrow or after hours or pre-market. Okay? Just put in a buy above it and keep writing a buy above it, maybe like 5% up, and just watch it like a hawk. Because maybe you just want to play this just to get the USPS contract. You just want to ride the quick like 2x or something that's going to happen. Then do it. If that's your thesis, if that's what you're comfortable with, that's how you want to play it, then do it. But just watch it. Try to figure out how to get news for WorkHorse like that. Can you figure out how? I might help you all do that someday. Okay, but regardless, you got to figure it out yourself. I said I tell you guys when I'm getting into stuff, I am personally not going to be a buyer right at this second right here, especially after this rally and especially after the still wobbly place we're in. Of course, I'd like to see another pullback, and then maybe I'll buy some more calls. I don't know. We'll have to see, but that's where I'm thinking for now. One of our awesome viewers, Mr. Nick A, 16 hours ago. Now this is in reference, we're switching out of WorkHorse now. This is switching over to our battery talk. We're getting ready for Tesla's battery thing on, I think it's Monday coming. And this is in reference to NOVONIX. This guy knows a lot about this company, and he said, Tesla's PR, Jeff Don, has invented numerous electronic vehicle battery testing equipment that NOVONIX owns the patents to. Whoa. It also seems from this article in Canada, a couple of weeks ago that Dr. Jeff Don may join his son and his 7 PhD students at NOVONIX in 2021 when he retires from Tesla. I think that's huge news right there. So, y'all see this video on NOVONIX that we did? I busted out, I think, like 3 or 4 battery videos. That's a huge tie to Tesla, you know? So, of course, he's going to want his son and all of them to get in there. I don't know. I'd like to have my money in there, but I can't remember which one of these I got into. But regardless, you know, on this one, I've got it, just like I was talking about, a buy above where it's at, because I'm trying to catch if Elon comes out and says, by the way, we're going to partner with NOVONIX. Okay. I want to get that quick flip real quick. Okay. And I might even hold that for a long time because this dude is Tesla batteries. Tesla is in the batteries. So I could hold it for 2 years. I don't know. But, you know, that's how I'm writing this one. Are you guys already into this one? What else do you know about it? He gave us even more information. He said, here's a great summary of NOVONIX. Again, this is on my website if you want to click these links. I'm not going to go to those articles right now. NOVONIX NVNXF ticker will be its US OTC best markets ticker code. I have been an investor in NOVONIX for the last 3.5 years. Any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. He's saying it. I'll post some research here for your reference on the 4 income divisions. So there's more links here if you guys want to check it out. He said NOVONIX was on the local news channel 9 a couple months ago. Enjoy the video. So there's more. He also said, well done, Matthew. Just wait for the major milestone announcements, he says. The U.S. Admiral Robert J. Natter and Andrew Livers, who is on the board of Saudi Aramco, chairman of Lucid Motors, are on the board of NOVONIX. So now we've got Lucid Motors ties, because remember the Saudis own like over half, like over $1 billion. And I think they're valued like 1.8 or 1.7 billion. Saudis own 1 billion of it, which is like 55%. So the chairman of Lucid Motors are on the board of NOVONIX. So obviously to sign on deals with their contacts in the global economy. That's a huge tie right there. So what if NOVONIX ends up being Tesla's homeboy and Lucid's homeboy? That stock's really going to rip. So pretty pumped about that. How are those battery stocks doing? I checked them a little earlier and they're just kind of chilling. You know, some kind of went down a little bit. Some are wedging real quick. Let's take a look at NOVONIX while we're talking about it, though, shall we? I better get it. He told me how to spell it, right? Where are we at here? NVNXF. There it is. Let's grab it. It's American. Yeah, so this is still just sitting literally directly in the middle of the channel here. Decent place. You know, okay. See this golden line? This is where I put my buy in. Above it, because I want to catch it going up. I don't want to deploy my troops, my monies. I don't want to deploy my troops and just have them just sitting there doing nothing for me. It's not fun. I'd rather have them other places multiplying, you know. So I'm not going to deploy my troops unless they have a potential to start multiplying. Otherwise, what's the point? I'm losing out on money because it could be somewhere else, right? Okay, got another request from Andrew Hall via Twitter. He said, didn't watch your video. All right. But I hope you mentioned KCAC and BMRG. Let's take a look. KCAC. Let's take a look at this. So, what does this look like? You know, we definitely had this bull flag coming down here. And I think we called this out was it Friday? Yeah, Friday, that if it breaks the screen, it's going to go into bull. What happened? It broke the screen, went to bull. And now what's going on? Now it's consolidating. It's just chilling there, consolidating. You know, if you're not in this, again, just like before, if you want to get in, you can put a buy-in above it. It's how the smart people will do it. Put in a buy a little bit above where the channel's at. We definitely have a board. Actually, that's a burrito channel. Nice and narrow there, not too thick. There we go. Yep. Perfect size for burrito. We got the tortilla chip and the burrito here. So what we're waiting for, and what we excellently have, is a nice new little channel. You see what's happening? It's coming down, smacking the bottom of the burrito and coming to the top of the burrito and heading back down. What we want to happen, we want to buy super heavy right here and have everyone else jump and join us with it. Squeeze that burrito real tight and make the hot sauce squirt out green the salsa verde, and head to bull. Yeah, but that's why I love graphs and channels, because we know when to buy. It's at the bottom of the channel. In fact, post market, it went from $18.44 to $18.65. So post markets, it's already going up. You know, this one is going to be massive. It already is. This is one of the best reacting SPACs I've ever seen. You know, it's absolutely phenomenal. I think, you know, I'm sure the Bill Gates name had a lot to do with it. You know, just absolutely skying like this all the way up to $26 out the gate. It was the day one of an announcement. Holy Toledo, man. You know, it came down, you know, and we'll get to this in a second, but people keep asking me about IPOs and stuff. IPOs, I've talked about them a bunch, and my thesis is always going to be the same. I don't care which one is coming out. Don't buy the first couple days, ever. Is it going to get a rare one that might just sky to the moon forever and ever and ever? Like if Tesla comes out with like a little side baby cheap Tesla stock, maybe that one you can just write up. Other than that, this is kind of how IPOs always open, right? They're usually going to just sky up, going to come back down, and then you get a good place to buy in, right? So just pay attention to the big lines for previous IPOs, and that's why I did not get into SnowFlake today, or I haven't brought it up, because I knew if I did, talked cool about it like everyone else, you probably would have been one of those people that are market ordering stuff like that, and I don't want you guys to be that. I want you to be those crocodiles sitting back waiting for something banging, okay, that's already proven itself super high, and then come down and everyone's freaking out and just selling. And when people are thinking it's not cool and it's just going to die, that's when you want to get in. Okay, because it's already proven yourself, and you're like, okay, I can get to 28. It's now down to 20. You know, that's when you want to get in, somewhere around here. That's why we called this out, saying this might be a good entry right here. Look, it is still a decent entry here. I mean, it's still high for a SPAC. You know, the thing that's killing me on this one is the time frame for it to come out and actually make something. You know, it's like 2, 3, 4 years. Holy Toledo. I think as strong as this one is held, though, I could still see it holding around there. You know, I'd still say you're probably fine about that buy point, about 18, but I am personally not in this right now, and I don't see myself entering tomorrow either. You know, it doesn't look cheap enough for me yet. I only buy stuff cheap because that's where you make your money. You make it on the buy side. You also want me to take a look at BMRG. Almost sold some of this today, but I didn't. So this is if you haven't seen my video on BMRG or know what it is, take a look. It's the EOS separate battery packs for big industry or people's farms. So this baby, it announced, you know, this one only went to 1174, came back down, got not cool, down to $10. Any ballers out there that cowboyed up and bought down here on like 10.05 after the run up? What a great time to buy. You know, this thing ran up again at 1070. Now it's at 1034. It's super low. You know, the lowest this can actually go is like $10 until it fully merges. So, you know, in these commons, it's a decent place to get in. You know, post market, this has ran up a little bit, which is cool. This is, again, one of those ones, you know, I mean, the California fires are going on, and it could just take them to finally, if they really wanted to do something, they could, okay, California? Anyone who's in California should know that by now. There's rolling power outages everywhere. It doesn't matter if you're in the Bay Area or Northern California or SoCal. They need these things, and they could easily get them. I mean, they're already paying like 13% sales tax over there. Why not just bump it to 15? Man up. Come on, California. Bump it to 15 and buy a bunch of these EOS batteries things. That's what I think. Is it a good time to buy? If you're long this company, I think so. I don't just see this one hyping very well, though. It's just not. I thought it might a little bit because the green thing, but just people haven't dove in. You know, it still could, but it's not electronic vehicle, right? And it is green, but it's just not an electronic vehicle. There's got to be some sort of brand or person tied to it. They got to get somebody on there to hype it, or they've got to get a big contract for it to fully start mooning off. But you never know. It could really start coming up, zooming up when it gets closer to merger. That's what a lot of SPACs do, is no matter what, they just start zip into 15 and then just go from there. Big old U starts happening. Let's take a look at another one. Mr. Brinks wanted me to take a look at, what's your analysis on DPHC. Let's take a look at that. Diamond Peak. We were just talking about this, weren't we? A little bit earlier. So what do I think? You know, it's high. It's probably too high for my blood to get in right now. I mean, the deal is if you're really into the SPAC game, like a lot of you are that follow my channel, you realize that your risk when we get into stuff is so low. When you look at stuff like this, no matter how cool it is, it's like, all right, so it's pretty cool. It might do okay, but I'd be much better just taking that capital and putting it into something way safer at the bottom floor around $10-ish, and then getting that right up because I want to protect my money in this crazy market. Okay, 28 has long ways to go back down. You know, this could end up, and obviously this is strong arm. I mean, this thing is just not stopping, right? It had a big consolidation period from August 26th all the way to September 10th, you know, maybe 20-ish days, but it's been ripping ever since. It's looked like it's probably going to be in that same channel where we might have a 20-day consolidation period, you know, but just realize if the market tanks, this is going to go with it. You know, probably go around 10. So that's why we try to buy them at 10, you know, like back here, we were buying it at 11.77. Okay. That's when you want to get in. You don't want to get into stuff when it's already this big. You can, yes, you can still ride it and make some money, but it's kind of sketchy. I don't know. I like it, but not really that much. You know, if there was another catalyst that came out, like they maybe got a new body design for it, or announced another like SUV or something like that they'll make, or a sports car they'll make, that might be a time to get in to ride that hype up. But right this second, I'm not jumping in tomorrow. Miss Lucy in Orlando wants me to talk about BBRW. This is a company that makes beer brewing big metal castor things, okay? That hold beer and you can make it. I like that play. It's kind of cool, just not right this second. You know, people are still drinking, but people aren't going out to those bars that have the cool breweries and all that. And those bars and stuff are hurting and closing a lot. And so the demand for this stuff is probably going down. You know, if it was a year ago, maybe, you know, but right this second, I don't know. I think long-term play, of course, it's gonna be good. People are always gonna want beer, you know, and more hipster beer, you know, yeah, little microbrewery things, great. But right this second, I don't know. Try to convince me otherwise. That's all I gotta say. Right now, that's where my head's at. Today, under the radar, nobody's talking about this. Some new SPACs. Not new SPACs, but new option plays for SPACs came out today. Which ones? Trine, y'all in that one? TRNE? I am now. FEAC, FEAC. Man, if you guys aren't in FEAC, I think this thing's gonna be so banging. Have you seen my video on FEAC? It's skills mobile gaming, and there's tons of money exchange. You pay to play. Pay against your friends. You know, if you're a developer, you can get on there. These options became available in the KCAC. Options are available on this baby too. If you've never done options before, I don't recommend doing it in this current market. It's very sketchy. You can lose a lot of money. You can make a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot of money really fast. So don't do options unless you really read up on it and learn a lot until you dive in. And if you do, just buy something really far out and really low. Buy it cheap. Don't buy something that's super expensive. Buy it around $1-ish. $2-ish. Don't be buying something that's like $8-ish. All right, just don't. So again, new IPOs, SnowFlake. I'll finally look it up. People want to know about SnowFlake. Let's see what happened. Oh my gosh, dude. This looks like it's terrible, right? Is this it? Yeah, this is the IPO, right? Did I look at it? How come there's a line there? Maybe I did look at it. Does anyone see why I say not to buy these though right away? Imagine all the people that market ordered this thing and bought it all the way up to $300 and something, dude. Oh my gosh. And then it went all the way down to 233. Who bought it around 233? Put your name down in the comments. You know, but then it, you know, went back up, waterfalled back down. This is what happens with IPOs. This is why you don't buy. I don't care how cool the company is. Where in this can you prove to me that you managed your risk on this trade? If you can't even come close to answering that question, it's not something you should be in. Again, you want to wait till this thing is just, people are pissed about it. That's when you want to dive in. What everyone's like, what a waste, what a failure of a company. That's when you want to get in, okay? If you love the company, SnowFlake is going to be great. It's a cloud-based storage thingy. It's super fast, yada, yada, got big technology. Okay, great. But I'm not going to be that guy that's telling you to hype at this, all right? I'm not. Get in, maybe, but just be patient, you know? Man, looking by this, you know, I definitely won't be a buyer at 252. I mean, look at Post. It's down to 248 already. I mean, you know, if I was diehard, I had to get in, you know, I'd be wanting to buy when it's shown it was its lowest down at like the 230. I am not buying at 266 and, oh man. I'm supposed to IPO at like 150. Just forget all that, dude. Just buy some SPACs. It's too much of a risk. So if this thing's, if the SPY starts heading down, the QQQ falls off the edge of the earth, this thing go down 150 and then probably way more. You're gonna lose a lot of your money. Just get into SPACs. If you don't know SPACs, or watch the rest of my videos. Just get in early to SPACs with me and everyone else. Your money's protected. You're still gonna get massive runs, and you don't have to be blowing through this ridiculousness here. Just don't do it. SBE. I know you guys are wanting to ask me, should I buy right now? Let's look at that. Do you know what I'm gonna say? Probably do. You guys seen all my videos on SwitchBack yet? Been talking about this one for a while now. Remember I emailed the dudes and they changed the background of their, because they had an oil and gas background, and then after I emailed them, they switched it to Scottsdale or whatever, you know, and then talked to the guy. Anyways, boy, so when do you buy this thing? Holy Toledo, look at post market. Okay, so this thing was at, you know, it tagged me in at about 1035. Yeah, we knew about it. We're talking about way back here when it wasn't cool yet. And tagged me in, and that thing zipped all the way to 1353. Gave it that waterfall down to 1228. Who bought around 1228? And then came back up, retested here at 3040. And then all the retail traders got home from work, and their homies started telling about it. And look at this. Post market, this thing is up to $14.60. It just went up another 4 cents from $13.19. That is huge. Dude, this is gonna, I bet you this opens at over 15. This is gonna be so massive. Did you guys look at my other videos about this, about ChargePoint? ChargePoint is like Blink, like the charging stations for electronic vehicles, but a little bit more solid. I think they're bigger. I think they're like the biggest player in it. Valuation around 2 billion-ish. It's gonna be massive. People have been speculating on this, on who's gonna go with ChargePoint, which SPAC's gonna bring ChargePoint. We finally got, not 100%, but it's like a Reuters article that came out, and they're like, people that are involved with the matter, they don't want to be named, blah, blah, blah. This usually happens, and then we'll get an LOI letter within a week or 3-ish. So hopefully it happens, but don't back the truck up right this second. I just don't recommend it, you know? Did I buy after part of the run-up today? I might have, but I'm never going to recommend that to you guys. And then now it's sitting at 15, you know. I'm guessing tomorrow what's going to happen, you're going to, you know, you've got all these post people are still buying. We still got 20 minutes left for the extended hours. You know, and then you're gonna have the market order people in the morning. The people that bought down here and then bought here again are going to be waiting for that, and then tomorrow morning you'll be selling. So this is probably gonna have a nice little dip about an hour after open tomorrow. And if you want to get in, that would be a better time to do it. Don't jump in right this second. Probably can't by the time you see this video, but don't market order this thing. Wait for at least a tiny pullback, at least a dip, and then go for it, you know. But again, realize this is not 100% set in stone either. This is still in speculation mode. The companies have not officially come out and said it, so there's also that. So manage your own risk. Only you can figure that out. Only you can prevent forest fires. Your own fires. Okay. Any other plays y'all want me to take a look at? Put them down in the comments. I went and tried to answer like 50 comments and talk to 50 people on YouTube. On their easy platform or whatever. Come to find out, the thing like got stuck and froze. And so all those comments I commented back on, I went and reloaded some videos and they didn't come through. So if I didn't answer your comment, I might have actually answered it, but then they like deleted it. it didn't load right or whatever. So I'm sorry. I'm trying to get to everything, but the plays you want me to take a look at, please subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up. But what I really want is just spread this out somewhere, like another website you're on. I know there's lots of weird like stock forums and stuff like that I don't even know about. Put me on there if you wouldn't mind. Definitely helps out. Like I said, any place, just let me know. We'll get to them eventually. Y'all take care.
Did you know that we give away free silver? Simply leave a comment on the video, and as long as you're in the continental United States, you can be automatically entered to win. Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.